can beat up my teacher. Why can't I have a black belt? Well, this is a good question because a lot of people have it. And it's based off of Western civilization and, to a point, Eastern civilization ruining the black belt for everybody. Real quick, to recap, Jigoro Kano made the black belt. He was an educator that took Jiu-jitsu, old Jiu-jitsu, and he made Judo, the gentle way. I mean, it's kind of gentle, but point is that he made a ranking system. As an educator, he made a ranking system from white to black. And it took a long time to get a black belt back then. I mean, a long time. There was not necessarily the same curriculum we have today in judo. It wasn't as nice as far as, well, they really tried hard and really did good, so let's give them a belt. It wasn't like that. It was based on the military arts, the martial arts. Now, I see a lot of styles nowadays. Somebody said they were a black belt in Muay Thai. Somebody said they were a black belt in Kung Fu. Somebody said they were a black belt in everything. And those aren't traditional black belts. Now, don't come over here and fight with me and tell me about how tough you are. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. I'm sure you're great. I'm sure you can beat people up. But your black belt is not a traditional black belt. It is started in Japan. When it came from Japan and it became popular and it started moving out west and everything like that, and everybody was like, I want a black belt, I want a black belt, I want a black belt. Then karate came over from Okinawa to Japan and it adopted the judo belting system because they wanted people to accept them, because Okinawans were kind of looked down on as the peasants. Judo came from the Budo, warrior way. It was military, it was samurai, it was the way. So you earned it. So if you're a private and you shoot the general, does that make you a general, or do they just hang you for mutiny? Well, the general can do more than just run out on the battlefield. The general can do more than just, I think you get the idea. The point is that once the idea of the black belt spread, it then became a prize. Now you can earn a prize, but you can also win a prize. A prize isn't the same as earning something all the way around. So when you earn a black belt, it's because you've put in your work. You can reteach. You can, you've put in the effort. Now, you might be just way better than your teacher. You might be way better than me. You might be super athletic. You might be the next Bruce Lee. And that's okay. But do you expect somebody, a man or a woman who's a black belt, to give you a black belt if you come in and say, hey, if I beat you up, can I have your belt? Does that seem respectful? Does that seem like a military strategy? Now, sure, you can, in a military, you can go over and take over another person's camp, take all their stuff, and then you're the boss. Yeah, but that person's never going to make you the head of their army. You got to take it. So, that being said, if you're so amazing that you're just way better than your teacher and you want a black belt, Century Martial Arts, I don't know what page it is, but, you can buy a black belt. You can get on Amazon, buy a black belt. You can wrap a rope around your pants and tell people it's your black belt. So the black belt's just a symbol of the fact that you put in your time, that you put in your paces, that you can do what's required of you. Now, to go back to what I said about Muay Thai and Kung Fu and everything, again, I'm not against people having black belts. Black belt is something that can happen anywhere. In Japan, they have black belts in flower arranging. They have black belts in everything. You can make a black belt of anything. If your kids at school did real good that week, you can say, hey, you've earned your green belt in reading, or something like that. Nobody can stop you from that. So belts, the whole belting system's arbitrary. What comes behind the belt? What did you do to get the belt? Hey, I beat up this guy and took his belt. Everybody's real proud of you. But I put in the time. I helped people. I got stronger. I listened to what my teacher said. Even though my teacher was maybe weaker than I was, I learned something and I brought that to other people. I brought it to my fight. I'm a better cage fighter because the coach taught me something. Mickey didn't spar with Rocky, but Mickey was the guy you went to get trained. So, long story short, too late, right? Is that No, beating up your teacher does not make you a black belt. It makes you somebody who's athletic or lucky or good or something like that, but it does not make you a black belt. The belt is something that you've earned based on what your teacher feels like you've earned. Now, if you're in a good school, your teacher has a teacher who taught them, and that teacher has a teacher. And so they have to keep up with, I want my teacher to know that I gave a belt based on the way my teacher would have given me the belt. So if their teacher would have been like, oh, he beat you up, yeah, give him a belt. Fine, if that's your school's way, I can't speak for it. But traditional martial arts, and I'm talking about Japanese, Chinese, and I'm talking about Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, I'm talking about like all the old Budo type styles, you got to earn it. So I'm sorry, and it's depressing, and I know the need for a black belt. Now that I've got one, I don't worry about it as much, but that's the way it goes. Okay, come in here, work for your black belt, or just work to get better. You don't have to work it. Not everything we do has a black belt. Our Kung Fu style doesn't have a black belt. Our MMA class has no black belt. Come in, earn a black belt. It's going to take you probably 5 to 10 years, maybe more, maybe less. Do that. But just come in and learn the martial arts if you don't want a belt. Otherwise, just come in, enjoy it, and don't worry about what's around your pants. Worry about what's in here. So, SpringfieldKarateandFitness.com. We'll talk again soon.